Okay, this is a video poker tutorial. Here I've loaded up way too many video pokers, and the reason for that is there's a few varieties that I want to kind of go over with people. So let's get started on what we're looking at. It looks like video poker. If it doesn't say video poker at the top, you're probably looking at the wrong module, to be honest. Yeah, the point of this module is it gives you a variant of poker, like a video poker, like you would find at a casino where you sit down and lose all your money. And your goal is to be as efficient in winning money as possible. You'll probably end up losing money or maybe breaking even, but you're gonna try. So when you look at one, let's just choose a random one, this one. The things you'll want to notice, well, first is you can set the speed. I like the speed to be 3 because I'm a power gamer. But you have these others. We have bet max and bet 1. You're always going to want to bet max. Bet 1 is purely for completeness of the module, but you will always bet max. This is for efficiency's sake, since this is efficiency trainer. In order to get the most amount of money, you need to bet the most possible, which is 5. You have this deal, which we'll get to later, but essentially just deals you the cards that you don't keep. Then we have game info. Game info is important for what type we're playing. So for example, right now we're playing Deuces Wild, so I'm going to scroll down to Deuces Wild. Down the many, many, many pages of this manual. We have Deuces Wild, Not So Only Ugly Ducks, and we have Deuces Wild, Looses Deuces. And then we have full pay as well. So what these are just different types, and the way we'll figure out which type of Deuces Wild we have is going into game info and seeing we have 250, 500, 25, 15, 8. So now we're going to match that up with the scores here. So full pay is 250, 200. So that's not going to be right. We have 250 and 200 here. That's 250, 500 on the module. So let's look at Looses Deuces. 250, 500, 25, 15, 8. And that matches what's on the module. Now if I go to the last Deuces Wild, let's just say this one, the Not So Ugly Ducks, you also have 250, 225, 16, 10, which is also not what we have on the module. So we've done step 1 of video poker. We have identified what type of video poker we are playing. Playing Looses Deuces, or Loose Deuces, I guess. And now, well, we look at the manual. And the manual is essentially just a really long set of instructions. I'll actually like to start with the simplest one. Deuces is probably the least simple one. So let's start with the jacks are better. Let's find one that's up here. Jacks are better. So let's do our first thing. Actually, I'll keep it at medium speed, or even, I'll keep it at default speed. And let's see what's going on. So there's lots of types of jacks are better. This one is 8-5 jacks are better. They're easy to identify because you just look at how much a full house and how much a flush is worth. So if I scroll all the way back up here, there's 9-6, 9-5, 8-6. Here's 8-5 jacks are better. So full house is 8, flush is 5. We have that down. So now we know we're on 8-5 jacks are better. Let's go back. I pressed the wrong button, that's fine. And let's bet max. So we bet max, and now we're approached with different cards. And we want to make the best hand of poker we can. And normally that'd be really hard, but the manual actually makes this simple. We're just going to start from the top. If we don't have said thing, we're going to go down. Obviously, we do not have a royal flush. And by the way, if you're confused by the poker terms, there are all of the poker terms you'll need to know, probably at the bottom here. Different kind of hands, so you have like what a royal flush is, 5 of kinds, straight flush, etc. And then straight draws. So these I will explain even though the manual explains. So an open-ended or an outside straight would be 6, 7, 8, 9. If you had 6, 7, 8, 9 here, you could either finish the straight with a 10 or a 5. So that's open-ended or outside. The empty card is outside. And that's a more ideal thing to keep because you have the opportunity of finishing the straight with 2 instead of 1. And then, on the contrary, inside straight draw is, let's say we had 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Now we can only draw an 8 to complete the straight, so it is a worse draw. Oh, let's not zoom in there. Let's go all the way back up to our, what was this again? Our 8, 5, jacks are better. So we don't have a royal flush. In fact, we don't have a lot of these things at the top. If your hand looks fancy, you might have something at the top, but I've never gotten a 4 of a kind or a straight flush or a royal flush. And I've probably done this module more than anyone else. One more thing before we start. There is actually a way to... So the way to solve the module, which is an important thing to go over when you're giving a tutorial for a module, the way to solve a module is by either getting the correct keep 5 times in a row or winning 1,200 credits, as is described here. Again, I've done this module a lot more than probably anyone else, and again, I've never seen this. So this will only happen if you're playing a bonus poker and you get a good hand, or if you get a royal flush, pretty much. So good luck with that, but yeah, if you do get over 1,200 points, you will immediately solve the module. There will be a button that says claim. So now that we know how to solve the module, let's go over this. Okay, things to note when you're looking, because this is a long list, right? I have 38 things here. Things to look for is things of the same suit and high cards, especially in jacks or better. The premise of jacks or better is if you get a pair of things that are jacks or better, you get more points. Pretty simple. So you're going to be wanting to look for things of the same suit and things that are higher. So I notice we have 3 of the same suit, and all of the same suit is a flush. So let's look for 3 to a flush. So the bottom one is 3 to a straight flush, which we don't have. There's no way you can make a straight with an ace, a 7, and a 3. And that's a better hand than our straight and then a regular flush. So there's no 3 to a flush here. And I would control F it, but it would take me all around the manual. So you'll believe me on this. But yeah, if you go through this whole list, you will not find 3 to a flush. So then let's look for, we have 2 other options. We have suited king, queen, and we have unsuited ace, king, queen. Those are our combinations of high cards that will probably get us points if we keep them. So let's look. So I'm seeing suited queen, ace. Okay, so number 20 is suited king, queen. In fact, since I'm going to do that in red so we can compare. So right here we have our suited king, queen. So this is suited jack, queen, jack, king, or queen, king. So that would be, so our 20th best hand is this king of hearts, queen of hearts. Now let's look for ace, king, queen. Unsuited. So funny about that, there is no unsuited ace, king, queen. But the equivalent hand to an unsuited ace, queen, king is an unsuited ace, king, or ace, queen. Since we couldn't find unsuited ace, king, queen, that's the next best thing we can make that isn't suited king, queen. Obviously, suited king, queen is way higher, so I'm going to keep those. So let's do that. Let's hold it. So the way we draw the cards that we haven't held is by pressing draw down here. It looks like we got a pair of jacks, completely unrelated. Let's go. But that's our first hand. And I'm going to go through the next one a little more quickly. So this one's pretty simple. I see a pair. 99% of the time is going to be a pair, considering a low pair, which is something that isn't jacks or better, still 15th. It's pretty high. And I don't really see any other hand here, other than a single high card, which is down here at 37. Jack would be a single high card. So let's keep our pair. We got two pair. The poker gods are smiling upon us, I guess. So let's try another one. And I'm always betting max. Okay, so looking at this, I see two options. I see either ace jack 9 or ace jack, judging just by the high cards we have. So yeah, it doesn't look like we have unsuited ace jack 9, but we do have a unsuited ace jack, which is right here. That's 34. There's no combinations of higher cards or anything here that I'm missing out on. So, and nothing like a straight or a flush that I can think of making. So that's going to be what I'm keeping. Excuse me. Let's draw it. Didn't get anything there. You don't have to get points. I still got a correct stage for that. Let's bet again. Okay, so here we have 3 to a straight. But since our lowest is 3 to a straight flush, which is better than a straight, I'm assuming that unsuited 7, 8, 9 won't get us anywhere. And by looking through the entire list, we can confirm unsuited 7, 8, 9 won't get us anywhere. So it looks like our highest is going to be a single high card, an ace. And there it is. We got our pair, and we got our stage. And let's do it one more time. Solve the module. So we know that this won't get us anywhere with the 7-8. The 4-2 won't get us anywhere. We're not near a flush, so highest one is probably going to be a single high card over here. Let's draw it, and module solved. That jacks are better. There are multiple jacks or betters variants, but most of them are almost exactly the same. So I won't go over them. Yeah, they pretty much all have the same rules. Maybe 2 rules are swapped around, but since you know how to find them now, I would be kind of disappointed in you to just be lazy like that, Anyways, next one I'm going to show is bonus poker. Let's do this one actually. This is regular bonus poker. The bonus pokers, there's 4 types. They tell you which one they are. So we don't even have to look at game info, but if you looked at game info, you would see 25, 50, 80, 40. That's what we have here. So we are indeed looking at bonus poker. And yeah, let's start. So bonus poker, you have a little bit different rules. Some things are worth more, like 4 aces and 4 2 3s or 4s. So we'll be keeping different things than jacks are better. So let's go. So here, what I'm looking at is king ace, and if I look here, we have unsuited king ace, number 35. I don't see anything else we can make, and that's obviously higher than a single high card, because it's 2 high cards. So let's do that. Yep. And now the possibilities I see are unsuited jack 10 king or a suited king jack. Suited king jack is up here at 20. Unsuited 10 jack king looks like it's going to be actually nowhere. There's no unsuited 10 jack even. So looks like we're keeping suited king jack. Suited being, same suit. That's correct. Let's keep going. Suited king jack again, and this is 3 to a straight, but again the lowest is a 3 to a straight flush, and that's a better card. I mean a better hand than just a regular straight, so I'm not even considering it here. Let's draw. That's correct. That max again. So right now we have a pair of aces. So that would be a high pair. That's 11. That's already pretty high. 4 to a straight flush. I don't see any straight flush here anywhere near. 2 pair. We don't have 2 pair here. We only have 1 pair. 3 of a kind. Nope. Straight, flush, full house. We have none of those. So even though it might be enticing to keep this jack and this queen, we keep what it tells us to, and the highest one is a high pair. High pair being jacks or higher. Let's keep it. Yep. And we got the points for it anyways. And then finally this last one, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an open-ended straight, as we discussed before. And that's all the way up here, number 16. And that's higher than our other alternative, which is just a high card. That queen is just a single jack, queen, or king down at 38. So we're keeping 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 4 to an open-ended straight. I can get a 4 or a 9 to finish this straight. And that's the module solving. Next, so there are 4 types of bonus poker. I will be going over 2 of them. I will be going over the lowest type of bonus poker, which is what I just went over, the regular bonus poker. There's also triple-double bonus poker, and this is on the other end of the spectrum. If you look at game info, you get a lot of points for 4 aces with a 2, 3, or 4, a lot of points for 4 2, 3, or 4s with an ace, 2, 3, or 4. A lot of opportunity for points. I think the flavor text is it'll be rare to get this in an actual casino, just because it gives out so many points. No, this variant gives out jackpots more than 10 times as often as 9, 6 jacks or better. It's pretty cool. Still haven't seen it. Anyway, so let's get started. I've scrolled down to triple-double bonus poker. Let's bet max. We have jacks or better, but we also have 4 to a flush. So let's look at this. We have, so a pair of aces is actually higher than 2 pair in triple-double bonus poker. That's kind of why I went over this one, is it has the weirdest rules, just from the huge amount of point discrepancy, and goes all the way to 4 to 2 over here, actually. But regardless, we have our pair of aces, and we have 4 to a flush here. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of clubs. Very close, but pair of aces is actually worth more. So we're keeping the pair of aces in triple-double bonus poker. Now, if this was 4 to a straight flush, that would be above the pair of aces. Just barely. Anyways. Yep, so we got our points there. And the reason keeping the pair of aces is great is just because 4 aces gives so much points. So many points. Okay, here, what I see is an unsuited king ace, and that's about it. Let's see if that's a hand. Unsuited king ace is not a hand. Instead, the highest value is a single jack. A single ace, my bad. And there are certain rules that beat a single ace that's outlined here, and there's also various other rules that are like, oh, this technically beats this if this happens, and you'll have all these letter rules. I've never had one matter, ever. That being said, if I, for example, got these 2 right here, or it's just 2 things that are very close, like 3 to a flush, 1 high card, etc., I would check it. Just because oftentimes they have to do with things that are close. You might switch around 2 options if you have a different kicker or a different last card that's not as relevant. Anyways, so our single ace is the only thing on here. There's no unsuited king ace in this list. If you want to look through it, go ahead, but there isn't. So we hold that ace. We got that one. Next we have 3, 5, 4 ace. So this is actually 4 to a straight, including an ace, and that is 4 to an inside straight. Because we're waiting only on a 2. Now, single jack is actually above that, and single ace is above that. So even if we have that 4 to an inside straight, it doesn't matter because we have the single ace. It's better than that. And yeah. Just checking for any other rules because this is the weird one again. Yep, so that's it. We have the single ace, and we end up getting jacks anyways. Cool. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the pair, high pair. is over here in 16. And that's higher than a single ace, and that's higher than, there is no queen ace, there's only a single ace in this. So it's going to be that pair, it's up there, pretty high. So yeah, we got that. Sorry if this is going long-winded, I just want to go over all of my thought processes. Ace 2-3, let's see. Yep, okay, just double checking because this is again a weird one. You could always double check the rules if you're, you have one strike left or something. This just looks like it's a single ace. I don't have a pairs of 2s or 3s, and they're not the same suit, so I don't really care. So I'm going to keep this ace, and that solves. Okay, that's the third thing I've gone over. And the last one I want to go over is deuces wild. Let's find ourselves the deuces wild. It's this one. If I remember, this one was loose deuces. Now the 15-8. I will be only going over one deuces wild variant just because most of them are the same. Maybe one or two rules are flipped, but this is the weirdest one. So hopefully. So yes, we got a wild card here. So the hand ranks are actually split into 5 different, well, actually no, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 different ranks. Sorry, it's reading. Okay, so we have 4 different ranks, and it depends on how many deuces you have. I have 1 deuce here. It'll say wild card. It'll scream at you. So I'm not going to hand rank 0 deuces, which is right here. I'm going to hand ranks 1 deuce, and this is what it's given. You might miss this, but general rule of thumb. This is very important for deuces wild. Always keep any deuces you were dealt. It's just because it's literally a free whatever card you want. So, for example, in front of me is 4 to a flush. You can see that because I have heart, 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 and this could be a heart if I damn well please, So right now we have heart, 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 heart. So let's look for 4 to a flush. I'll keep this held. And we don't actually have 4 to a flush. Wait, 7, 8, 9. Yep, no. Sorry if I couldn't count. However, we do have 3 to a straight flush, and this 3 to a straight flush is wild card 7, 8. So this would make a straight flush. So that would be our hand. It's below a wild card jack queen or anything like that. But it is on this list. If it wasn't on this list, then you would just keep the deuce. So let's check that. No. Okay, so let's see where we went wrong. So we've hit a special rule, not something you get often. So only keep these 3 to a straight flush draws if the ranks of the other 2 cards can be found in the appropriate list below. If I look at this, I only keep wild 7, 8, which is right here, if the other 2 cards are in this list, and 4 king. Four king is here. I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand why this is wrong. Okay, so it has to do with flush penalty cards. So I think it's time to go over flush penalty cards. You'll most likely never come across these. We got a really funny case here. So for example, a penalty card would be this king. This king could go toward, it's a good card that would have to be discarded for this better hand. So the example it gives is 10 Jack King, and jacks are better. You would keep the suited 10 Jack. However, getting rid of the last heart, which it describes here, would make it harder to get a flush. So, it goes again. So this king is a flush penalty card. Discarding it makes it harder to get a flush, even though it's not a 4 to a flush is not in the deuces wild. It degrades the value of what we're keeping. It's kind of hard to explain, but essentially, if you have a card. If you're getting rid of a card that makes it harder to get a flush or a straight, that is a penalty card, and you'll have to look at extra rules to see if getting rid of a penalty card is available. In here, 4K is not starred, and the king is a flush penalty card because it makes it harder to get a flush. So therefore, I have to keep the deuce instead. This is one of the examples of video poker being a very tedious module, very read-heavy module, but we got through it and we figured out why. So let's keep that 2. That was correct. We got a 3 of a kind. Let's go next. Now striking will reset you, but we couldn't tell because that was the first one anyways. So right here we got no deuces, so we're going to hand ranks with 0 deuces, and 1 pair is up here at 11. I don't think king ace would be above it, especially unsuited. In fact, there's no unsuited here. It's all flushes and straight flushes, except for 4 to an inside straight, and a pair, and we have a pair, so that's going to be ours. 3 to a flush, not here, so let's keep this pair. That's correct. We have another pair. We also have 3 to a flush, but again, not here. Lowest is 4 to a flush. And not even single aces here, just because of how powerful 2s are. So, let's keep this pair. Yep. We have 3 to a straight, but there is no 3 to a straight. It's only 4 to an inside straight. So let's keep the pair. And yeah, again, that's right there. And then finally, so we look here. Lowest is suited Jack, King, Queen, King, or 10 King. We don't have suited anything with King. Next is 4 to an inside straight. Then suited 10 Queen or Jack Queen. Excuse my dog. Probably sees pretty dog outside. Decided to say hi. My bad. But we do not have suited 10 King. Only suited 10 Queen or Jack Queen. And let's just look to make sure. 4 to a straight beats that, and 4 to a straight, we don't have that. So, it doesn't look like we're keeping anything. And if it's not in this list, you'd never keep anything. That's for all of them, not just deuces wild. So let's keep it. That was correct. Now, I didn't have that much opportunity to play around with deuces, so let's do another deuces wild for completion's sake. So let's find this one. This one's going to be 25, 15, 8. That's the one we were already on. In fact, let's find a different one. 25, 15, 8. It really likes giving me that one. Okay, here we go. 25, 15, 9. So this one is full pay. Deuces wild. Let's take a peep. So we got a deuce, and we have 3 to a flush. Now, I can't believe this is happening. We've come across another flush penalty card. I'm glad I went as far as I did. So maybe I can explain this better. So we have 1 deuce, so let's go to, oh boy. Okay, let's go to hand ranks for 1 deuce. We have 4 to a flush. Is 4 to a flush anywhere? No. Now we have 4 to a straight. Do we have 4 to a straight here? No. And you can't make a straight flush. You can't go from 4-5 to queen, even if you include that. So, we're actually just, it doesn't matter that we have a flush penalty card, because we're not even making a hand. So we're just keeping the deuce. Let's look at this again. We have 3 to a flush. Is that a thing? Nope. So I don't think we're holding anything. Let me check. Yeah, no. We got a 3 of queen there because we have 2 queens and a deuce. That's anything we want. 2 pair. No deuces. 2 pair is high up here, I'm pretty sure. So, never mind. I lied to you. Lied straight to your face. Sorry about that. So if you read 1 pair, if you have 2 pair, only keep 1 of them. It doesn't matter which one you keep. So I can keep whichever pair I want. I'll keep the kings. Maybe it'll pay out something nice. Yeah, if you kept 2 pairs there, you would strike. We have another wild card. And it doesn't look like, for the wild cards, you have to have a really nice hand to keep anything other than a wild card. Doesn't look like we have anything here. We have 4 to a straight, but that won't cut it. So let's keep the deuce. Finally, looks like we have absolutely nothing. Nothing even close except for single jack. So let's keep it single that. And that's it. Sorry for this being world's longest tutorial, most boring tutorial. You can describe it as a lot of things. I just wanted to make sure it's complete. Feel free to skip around. And hopefully my microphone worked. Thanks for sticking around if you, for some reason, stuck around till the end. And hopefully you can do all of the no bombs that have video poker on it. Maybe you'll do my bomb. Who knows? Yeah, bye.